Officers are still out here right now investigating, but this was split-second decision-making. As soon as they got to this house right here, they heard that gunfire before they could even get to the door. Moments later, a woman comes out screaming. Her husband, 65-year-old Gary Johns, was running after her, shooting at her. Police yelled for Johns to drop his gun, but he keeps shooting at his wife. Two of the officers fire back and hit Johns. The 65-year-old also managed to shoot his wife in the chest as she ran toward officers. Both were taken. Investigators are not saying a lot right now. They say that a woman called, said she heard gunshots, and then she saw that man lying out here on the ground. As you can see, they have black tarp now covering where his body is. This happened about 4 o'clock in the morning. They are still investigating and getting evidence, and so his body is still out here on the ground. What that has caused is he has family members out here who are very distraught about what happened. Of course, they say that they'll talk to us in a few minutes, and then there's a lot of neighbors who are starting to gather here around the scene. Well, you know what, right now, as far as traffic is concerned, they're being diverted off the highway at Cayley. That's the cars that you see going behind me. They're going to Division or OBT to get to where they need to go. We have seen a couple of emergency crews come through. Even though this happened at 3 o'clock in the morning, we're still seeing fire trucks come through here where you see the officers blocking off the intersection. Going to show you another shot that we have a little closer to the scene. There was also a tow truck that came through, and then we also heard of a possible extrication of a body. What we do know is that one person died in this crash and that another one was taken to ORMC in life-threatening condition. We were told that this is a possible wrong-way crash. We do not know where that vehicle that was going the wrong way entered the highway. That pursuit finally ended here when Lopez lost control and crashed into this fence. You can see pieces of the vehicle and then the tire marks from when he finally stopped in those bushes.
Not your typical patrol car cops, you know.
Derek Schoaf knew he was caught in between a serious situation when he saw his neighbor hit the gas driving through yards with heavily armed deputies on his tail.
ARs, everything. So I guess they'd been on him for a little bit for whatever he did.
What he did, according to deputies, is commit armed robbery. They say 19-year-old Damian Lopez was on probation for the same thing. They came to pick him up, but Lopez wasn't having it. Took them on a 15-mile, two-county chase.
We heard a lot of sirens for about 5 minutes, I would say, and then nothing. So I was like, well, either they got him or he's way out there.
Lopez got pretty far, but not without tearing things up on the way. Deputies say he hit signs and another car, but didn't hurt that driver. He eventually lost control, crashing through a fence at Lake Mary Drive in the 417. Orange and Seminole County deputies finally caught him. Right now, Lopez is being held in Orange County Jail without bond. He has a first appearance later this afternoon. We'll let you know what happens. Reporting this morning, the family has gathered, still distraught. They're here where little Isis died. They're calling for changes to be made on this road and for people to pay attention while driving.
That's my baby. I don't have that no more.
Silver Star Road holds bad memories for the family of 8-year-old Isis Harris.
But my baby got hurt and she died.
Yes.
And it's killing me.
It'll always be the place now where she was killed. It's where it almost happened to her grandmother, too.
This been 2 years when I've been hit. Down by Andes and Mobile. And I'm suffering still.
Isis was crossing the street to her apartment complex early Sunday evening with a younger cousin. Somehow, 19-year-old Chastity Young hit her while driving. Isis was not using a crosswalk.
I didn't get a chance to see my baby. I didn't get a chance.
And we saw plenty of near misses in the couple hours we spent near that intersection. People in and out of the same complex. They'd have to walk further up to cross safely at Dardanelle. But Isis's grandmother, Josephine Long, says even then, people drive recklessly.
And they drive fast. They don't look. They don't pay no attention. They don't pay no attention.
The family wants more signage, lights, another crosswalk, and a lowered speed limit. Florida Department of Transportation says they are evaluating the situation. Long had stern words for irresponsible drivers.
Anybody else who's driving, texting on the phone, and ain't paying no attention to the road, I want them to get you.
Yeah, this isn't a could-be situation. This is already happening. We've been here since 4 o'clock, and hundreds of people were already here. You can see this line that's already wrapped around the building. And then let me try to turn it for you here. Let's go around here. There are hundreds more people who are waiting in line. I would say more than 1,000 at this point. And there are already traffic jams. Took us about 15 minutes just to get through a light. This is the third day of sign-ups for food assistance, and people wanted to make sure that they got the help that they needed. You have to have a sunny disposition to compare hours-long waits for assistance to your favorite theme park rides.
It's like amazing, like when you go to a amusement park, they got that line, queue line, you got to go through it. So I was making fun online, saying, listen, we waiting to go online at one of the Disney or Universal rides. So, hey, but the only difference is we get money.
Anything to keep spirits up. Some waited for more than 6 hours for the $200 to $1,100 per month of disaster food stamps, depending on how big your household is.
It was so good to me. It was so blessing.
But for some, the heat coupled with the thousands of people was brutal.
Yesterday was so many accidents, people fighting, like there were literally people fighting each other.
Camping World Stadium is trying to keep order by splitting the days up by last name and monitoring the lines. So far, more than 700,000 people have applied statewide.